Welcome to the SAICA Biz Impact Podcast, your ultimate business growth platform, where we simplify complex business topics with expert insights, market-relevant trends, and practical advice, all aimed at keeping you ahead of the curve.
Welcome to another episode of the SAICA Biz Impact Podcast Show. I am your host, Uluncedo Mthwentwe. This is your home, this is your space, where we unpack and simplify complex business topics that affect your business on a day-to-day basis. And we will be bringing you the latest business trends and try to provide you with insights to ensure that you stay ahead of the business curve. And talking about those business trends that are happening in South Africa, we will be talking about the ESD programs in South Africa. And to help us to ensure that we unpack that topic and see if does it really have an impact on SMEs, we have the CEO of SAICA Enterprise Development and the Hope Factory, McWalter. Annie, welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Good to be here. Thank you.
Annie, you are the CEO of the SAICA Enterprise Development, and number of people have seen, your adverts. People have seen some of the organizations that you work with. They've seen the SAICA ED, they've seen the Hope Factory. I think let's start there to really assist some of the SME owners or some of the audience out there that have seen some of your work in terms of what's the difference between the two entities.
Wonderful. Thanks. Thank you, Lou. So the Hope Factory has been the longest in terms of being around. It's 20 years next year. We're going to be celebrating our 20th year anniversary. And the Hope Factory really started with the intent of teaching skills so that people could become economically active. And we are still very true to our roots. The Hope Factory is a non-profit organization, non-profit company, and it came under SAICA a number of years ago, really became formalized, governed well. We have a focus of really helping women and youth-owned small businesses that are starting out. So very much in the early stages, they are businesses below $1 million annual turnover. We focus on really helping them to get good skills into their business right from the foundation. And we believe that having good financial skills right from the beginning is very key. Having good selling and marketing skills, very key. And then the third is also you focusing on your service or your product and how you really differentiate yourselves from others. So the Hope Factory really starts with the fundamentals of small businesses. But over the years, the Hope Factory started doing enterprise and supplier development. It started right in the beginning when it was just enterprise development, and then became enterprise and supplier development. And we've also grown a lot of our programs around that. And we decided that in 2018, we would spin off a new company called SAICA Enterprise Development, which is a PTY. It's fully owned by the Hope Factory. And we're doing all of our kind of services for the corporate South Africa, mining companies, but we actually service the whole of, we're agnostic in terms of the types of sectors that we cover, but we have a lot of mining clients, we have a lot of clients in renewable energies, we've had in the past energy companies. We are helping them with their enterprise supplier development, and we effectively are an outsourced solution, and we absolutely focus on impact. And the way that we focus on impact is that we really looking at financial excellence in suppliers, in small businesses. And we do this partnering with small accounting practices that are part of SAICA. So we really are working with SAICA members, CAs, AGAs, and also ATs who are wanting to service that small business space or supplier development space and bring financial excellence into that space.
All right. So, Annie, in terms of really being part of some of your programs, I am an SME owner and I want to join them. What process do you follow to really take through all of the entrepreneurs to ensure that at the end of the day they become fully incubated SMEs? What process do you follow?
Perfect, yeah. So on the SAICA Enterprise Development Programme, if you applied to come onto our program, we do a call out, or we have a corporate that has given us a list of suppliers. So it's the two types of programs. But assuming that you want to join a program and you're applying, you'll go through an interview process with us. First, we ask you about your business. We do ask, do you have a separate bank account, business bank account? We'll be asking for a number of your documents. And then you go through a process of induction, where we just explain what the program is going to entail. On SAICA Enterprise Development, it tends to be focusing on financials, but not only the financial excellence part. The figures are often telling us what's going on.
Yeah.
So you would go through a process where we do a diagnosis, and we look at your business and interview on various parts of your business, and you come up with like a diagnosis at the end of that, where we can see these are the areas that need to be worked on and need to be coached around. And then you would come on if it's the flagship program, an 8-month coaching process with a CA or a volunteer from either KPMG or other corporates that are volunteering in terms of coaching. And they would coach off the back of this diagnosis. So it's very specific. The program will be very particular to you. And it's not, as I said, just your compliance aspects. We will see things like, do you need to diversify your income? Do you need to kind of spread your risk? You need to mitigate risk in certain areas. You will see it off the back of that diagnosis.
So there is a needs analysis that is done at the beginning to be able to respond to some of those needs that you would have. So it becomes a bit of a bespoke program for you that will talk to exactly in terms of what you are looking. Okay.
We've had times where coaches have even helped entrepreneurs get their website up and get it excellent so they're attracting clients, or have advised them in terms of expansion, buying of equipment, or there's various things. So it doesn't just land at the finances.
Only.
It very much is holistic around, because you have often CA coaches that are coaching around the business, not just that. They're not doing it just from a audit perspective. Often we had to get over that perspective that we're coming in to audit your business. No, it's not that. They are a trusted business advisor to your business.
Yeah, I think one last question around that part. How do you measure the success of your programs?
Perfect. So we are so passionate about job creation. So I'm going to mention that first, because we really want small businesses to create new jobs. And it's the business owner, but how many new jobs have they created? So we always are measuring job creation. We measure increase in revenue. We measure increase in profit. And we do measure the increase in turnover. So we look at the number of new clients that also the small business has been able to attract as a result of the program. And those are usually the main aspects. For different customized programs, they ask us for different areas. So some of our mining clients will ask, please measure this, jobs retained possibly. There might be other areas that the corporate clients are also looking for in terms of their actual impact that they're looking for.
Perfect. So, you mentioned that you work with a number of businesses across South Africa. Take us through in terms of now your selection process in terms of beneficiaries who want to be part of these ESD programs. How do you go about it?
So we have two types of programs in terms of enterprise development and supplier development programs. The first is that a corporate comes and they've already got identified, they've got a supply chain and they've got a number of black-owned businesses in that supply chain, and they're saying, we want to work with those suppliers and we want to help them to become more financially excellent. Yeah. So we would then take what the corporate company has in terms of a database, and we would do a full-on interview process and just ascertain, okay, are these businesses definitely running? Have they got their own separate bank account? Maybe they're not 100% there in terms of their compliance, but have they got certain things in place that would be needed for them to also be able to come onto the program? Then the second type of program is that we actually have a pot where a number of corporate companies have given us enterprise development funding. Good. And there we're able to then do a call out every 6 to 8 months and have a number of SMEs come on a coaching program. So there it's not as linked to a corporate in itself where it's their own program. Yeah. It's a whole pot, a whole number of corporates that have pooled funding together and enable us to run a financial coaching program for a number of months, for about 8 months with the SMEs. Yeah. So every time we kind of advertise on our pages, both LinkedIn and also Facebook, where we are recruiting for opportunities for small businesses to come and be part of that.
Talking about the financial coaching.
Yes.
And that goes with mentoring and all of that. Now, within the ESD programs in South Africa, what we have picked up, and I mean, this is a call that is coming as well from the SMEs, that there is so much focus around, let's say, coaching or mentoring, all right? Yeah. However, the SMEs would say, we want funding. That's what we want at the end of the day. We don't have time for coaching. We don't have time for this mentoring. All we want funding. So what is your take around that in terms of these SMEs saying, we don't need coaching, but we just want money at the end of the day?
Yeah, we understand that need. And I think that's why we are coaching very specifically on the financials of a company, because the first thing that you want to get to a place that makes you attractive for funding is getting your financial records right.
Absolutely.
And getting your compliance right. That will make you very attractive for funding if they can see that. And our CA coaches and AGA coaches, they're not just looking at your management accounts and, seeing whether you've done them correctly. They are going to coach around the numbers are not lying in your business. They're going to coach you around how to make your business more attractive, that you'd be able to sit in front of a funder. Yeah. I think where small businesses maybe are struggling is that banks are requiring a lot of assets, a lot of, they're requiring a lot of proof that if we give you this loan, you're going to be able to pay it back. Absolutely. And that's where you can sit with your financial coach and they can coach you. If you also don't know what's going on with the figures in your business, it's going to be harder for a funder to also trust you. So they can coach you in that as well, to be able to speak that language to any funding institution to help you to be able to be more attractive for funding. Yeah. The key thing is paying that funding back.
Yeah. It's not a grant sometimes. It's a loan.
It's not a grant. And I think that's what you see a lot in small businesses. They're thinking these are just grant funding, particularly when it comes to also government funding, right? And institutions. But it's not actually a grant. It is a loan and you need to pay that back. And there's also various types of funding as well. And that's where a financial coach would be able to also coach you in the different types of funding that are available. Yeah. So that's really where I would say we differentiate ourselves, in that we're actually working on the main thing that would actually get you ready for funding. Yeah. And you do need to understand that there are going to be certain things that you're going to have to change before you get that funding.
So if I am a business owner that is still running a small business, what are the benefits that you get from joining some of these ESD programs out there.
Yeah.
Because there is an investment of time that you have to make, as you have alluded, that you need to spend time sometimes with the business coach. There will be training as well.
Yeah.
So what are the benefits that SMEs should know that if I join some of these ED programs, these are the benefits that I am anticipating to get? And also, what are the benefits as well? I mean, from the corporates as well, because they're putting the money out there. What is the benefit of all of this?
I would say, as a small business owner who's looking at enterprise and supply development, it's like anything in life. You need to know what your goal is in terms of where you're going as a small business and what you need for that. And just as there's many coaches out there and they're not all equal, some are better than others. I would recommend that you look at your business and say, who are the kinds of corporates that I want to do business with? What are the types of skills that I need to get ahead? And who would be the best? And I think instead of going on serial programs, like program after program after program, actually decide where your business is heading and who are the right partners who you need to get your business ahead. And I think what we've seen with a lot of small businesses on our programs is they often come wanting to get a particular contract from the company that is offering the enterprise development program, but they may be focusing too narrowly on this is the only company that I can do business with. And what we would like to also, and what we do in our coaching is to open up the access to markets, thinking about other sectors, other people. For example, if you're in mining, there's also probably quite a lot of opportunities in renewables, because a lot of the mining and renewables are kind of coming together. There are cross-sector opportunities that could be there. And that's where I think a good enterprise supply development program would also give you access to those cross-sectional opportunities. And that's what we definitely try and do as well as SAICA Enterprise Development, is maybe they're coming in on a mining program, but we're looking at also the renewables that maybe might be opportunities that they could access there, because a lot of the companies are saying also we need a good supply chain, and we want to transform our supply chain, and so there are opportunities to also go cross-sector.
What are some of the, looking at the fact that you operate in a number of sectors, and you've been around, close to 2 decades now, as you've said. What are some of the success stories that you can share with our audience? And also be able to say, look, maybe I can reach out to SAICA Enterprise Development. What can you share with the listeners?
Well, I've been with the Hope Factory now coming on 12 years, so there's just so many that come to mind, but I'm very proud of also just knowing, and we can't also say that all the credit goes to us, because it's the SME, right?
Absolutely.
And they often also have gone on other things after us, but there's a particular lady that's from the Eastern Cape. Name is Violet. She has done a logistics company. She's now servicing Africa. It's really fantastic how she has grown. She started with South Africa, and she's now doing logistics all around Africa. Another IT company, again in the Eastern Cape. We've had a long footprint in the Eastern Cape, Proficia IT. It just always gives me just so much pleasure when I kind of drive around the coast of PE, and there's their sign up there. They started quite small and are servicing a number of corporate clients. Coming back to Gauteng, there's a fantastic company, Evergreen, and they do urban farming. They are selling seedlings, and they just expanded under our program. We actually worked with them during COVID when we were doing a JP Morgan Global Philanthropy project, and they wanted to focus on township businesses. And here's a fantastic example of a business in Soweto, and they're selling.
It's wonderful.
We have another gentleman who started a pizza delivery during COVID, like Corner Bladler is his business, and just absolutely stunning just to see how he grew. He really became trusted in his community. Same also based in a township area. He